All right, by now you've definitely heard of sports betting. You might be new to it and wondering to yourself, I have no idea what I'm doing. Or you could be doing it for a while and still be thinking, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just losing money more confidently. So whether you're new or not, you need guidance. You need some help. You don't know where to start. This whole sports betting thing is a little overwhelming. Don't worry, I'm here to help you. And by the end of this video, I want to make sure that you completely understand where to start and how to actually make money sports betting. I live in a state that actually does not allow the use of traditional sports books. We're talking DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars. So, because of that, I have to rely on daily fantasy sports apps, those DFS apps. We're talking PrizePicks, Underdog, Sleeper, Parlay Play, Chalkboard, Dabble, Better. There's a good amount of them out there, pretty much all the same. But here's the difference between those traditional sports books who let you bet on legitimately anything you want to, and these DFS apps. One, these DFS apps only let you bet on player props. A player prop is a certain statistical category of a certain player of that sport. We're talking points, rebounds, assists if you're in basketball, shots on goal, goalie saves in hockey, for football, passing yards, rushing yards, touchdowns, right? Those are specific props. We're not talking the general bets like a money line or a spread. We can't bet those on these apps. So we are limited to just player props. And two, you have to place parlays. A parlay is a combination of multiple bets that do issue a higher payout, but require all legs of that bet to be correct. So on general sports books, I might be able to bet LeBron James over 25.5 points. That's my bet. One bet, that's it. But on these DFS apps, I would have to go LeBron James over 25.5 points, and then I would have to pair it with at least one more prop, say Luka Doncic over 30.5 points, right? So it requires you to bet at least two, but usually between 2 and 6 props at the same time in order for you to win. So because of that, you may have legitimately heard that betting on these apps is pointless. You're going to lose money no matter what because they give you terrible odds and you are disadvantaged from the start. That's why I'm making this video. And I assume that's why you're watching this video, because truly you can make lots of money on these apps without investing too much of your own money. I promise you, between 1 to 4 weeks of using these apps, you can actually make money. Take your initial deposit out and only play with house money. That is what I'm going to show you. But first, let's get into the basics of DFS apps, how to get started, and what to consider. Me personally, I like to use a lot of different apps. More apps equals more opportunities. But let's say you're a new bettor, you don't know where to start. These are the 3 apps where I think most, if not all, new sports bettors who are limited to just DFS apps should start. There are others that I think are great apps, but these are the 3 that I think new bettors should start with. And then by the end, I'll tell you exactly which app I think is the best out of those 3. The first, PrizePicks. All right, PrizePicks. So they're definitely the most popular app available. You can tell by their Twitter followers, they just have a ton more than any other app. They are the most consistent app I've noticed because of their regular basis of offering discounts and promotions. Every Tuesday, they offer what they call Taco Tuesday, where they drop 3 discounts throughout the day. And every Friday, they call Flex Friday. They offer users one protected $20 bet. So $20, if you do lose that bet, you'll just receive that back in promo funds. And when you deposit up to $100, they will match it with $100 in promo funds. Those promo funds can be used to win real money. So, for example, you deposit $100 and you get that $100 worth of promo funds. You start betting, say $5 of promo funds, and you win, say $15.
that $15 is actually cash, withdrawable cash. Now going back to the betting, the minimum amount is $5, and they offer two types of bets, power play and flex play. Now power play is a type of bet where you must get all selections correct to win. Because of the difficulty of the bet, to get all of them correct, the payout is therefore higher. Flex play, on the other hand, is a type of bet where you can get one or even two wrong in your bet and still win some money. So for example, let's take a look at this 4-leg parlay. I'm going to craft it here right now. If I were to select power play, right, the amount won would be a 10x multiplier, so $10 to win 100. But I have to get all four correct. Now if I were to select flex play, going 4 for 4 would only grant me a 5x multiplier. But I have a fallback if I do go for 3 out of 4. I would still win a 1.5x multiplier. In this case, it would be $15, which would only be $5 profit. Now remember, these numbers are giving you the total amount back. So you're seeing $100 won. You're actually profiting $90 because that extra $10 is what you initially put in. Now PrizePicks is also fun because they will let you go up to 6 legs for a 25x multiplier. So for Flex Friday, it is very common for everyone to use that $20 of protected entry fees to win $500.
Like I said, PrizePicks is definitely the most popular app, but I do want to talk about two other apps that I think can be great for beginners as well. The second app, Underdog Fantasy.
All right, so Underdog is pretty similar to PrizePicks. They offer two types of bets, but instead of calling them power play and flex play, they just call them standard and flex, but they mean they're pretty much the same thing. Their payouts are a little different than PrizePicks. Underdog is limited to only 5 legs, while PrizePicks does have 6 legs. Underdog also offers a decent amount of discounts and promotions, but they are scattered a bit more sporadically than PrizePicks. I would say PrizePicks releases their discounts and promotions on a more regular schedule. I also do think the Underdog interface is a tad cleaner than PrizePicks, but that's just really a personal preference. Underdog, like PrizePicks, will also match your first deposit up to $100 with what they call bonus funds, which is like the promo funds in PrizePicks. So again, you're starting off with $200 off just a $100 investment. But on Underdog, a kicker is that the minimum bet is just $1 compared to PrizePicks where it has to be $5. Though in Underdog, you can't actually bet in cents. You are only limited to whole numbers. You can't bet $7.50, for example. You can only bet $7 or $8. Now, another thing that's interesting about Underdog is that unlike PrizePicks, where when you try to enter a 5 or 6-man bet on PrizePicks, you are actually restricted to just a flex play option. So, for example, on PrizePicks, if I were to select 5 players and put down $10, I wouldn't be able to have a power play option. It forces me to have a flex play option. But in Underdog, that's opposite. There is a power play option or a standard option here, which is nice.
That's Underdog. Let's get into the last app, which is Sleeper.
Now, Sleeper is the most different of the three because, unlike Underdog or PrizePicks, where you can pick any 2 to 6 props and get the exact same payout, for example, choosing 2 props, selecting a 2-leg power play or standard on Underdog will net you a 3x multiplier. Every single prop on Sleeper has a unique multiplier assigned to the prop. Some props are more likely to recur, like, say, Jimmy Butler making a single 3-pointer, which is most likely going to happen. So the multiplier assigned to that prop is around 1.3x. For reference, a standard prop on Underdog or PrizePicks would be between 1.7 and 1.8. But they don't show you that. But because of this, every single entry on Sleeper that you place will have a very unique payout. But consequently, Sleeper offers more prop selections. So let's go back to that Jimmy Butler example of him making a 3-pointer. the probability of him making just 1 3 is very high. So of course the odds are lower, around 1.3x. But now on the flip side, Butler not making a 3 is unlikely. So the odds are higher, around 2.8 to 3x. So this sort of selection is not available on PrizePicks or Underdog, because if it were, it would have to be equal value on the over and under, because, like we said before, they don't assign unique multipliers to props. And therefore, everyone and their mother would take Jimmy Butler's over on threes because it has such a high probability. And it would net them the same exact amount of money on a less likely prop, a 50-50 prop. So therefore, Sleeper has the option to have more props available. But on the downside, because they offer more props and unique multipliers, they don't offer any sort of flex play or insurance play. It has to be straight up. You have to win every single bet for that entry to be correct. Sleeper also runs generally well cadenced promotions and discounts, just kind of like the other two, with some small differences. I personally like the Sleeper interface the most, as I think it's the cleanest looking. It also gives you the best stat research on any single app for the players. So if you're looking to see Jimmy Butler's quick game log for threes, it has that available.
So we talked about PrizePicks, we talked about Underdog, and we talked about Sleeper at a high level, describing the basics of each. Now, I want to actually describe where the advantages are and how to actually make money on these apps. And then at the very end, I will walk you through the app that I think is best for new beginners. I want to emphasize this point very clearly. You will not make money on these apps if you don't take advantages of discounts and promotions. If you play even odds bets, those bets that don't include discounts and promotions, in the long run, you will lose because those straight bets are catered for the house, the app, to win, to take your money. In other words, if you only bet the regular bets you see when you log on the morning first thing, no discount, no promotion included, you can choose 2 legs, you can choose 6 legs, it doesn't matter. You are designed to lose. You might see people online, on Twitter, on social media making some money, but I promise you in the long run, you as a new bettor will not make money. That is because each individual prop and the odds associated with them are designed to give the house or the app an advantage. Just like if you go to a casino, every game you play, you are favored to lose. Even high odds games like blackjack, you only have a 48, 49% chance of winning. The house will always win. So that's why I emphasize it is so important to take the advantages that are given to you, which are those discounts and promotions. Taking advantage of these is the only way you will legitimately make money on these apps. I promise you. No other way. You have to take advantage of what they give you. Okay. Hopefully, I hammered that point home. Let's talk about each app and their specific discounts and promotions and what they offer you.
Now I'm going to scroll through PrizePicks' Twitter here because that's where they post their discounts and promotions. So we'll start off that PrizePicks does offer weekly discounts on Tuesdays, what they call Taco Tuesdays, where essentially they'll discount popular players' projections by a few points, rebounds, yards, points, whatever, on the prop. And they typically give us 3 every Tuesdays. And then on Friday, they give us a promotion of which they call Flex Friday, which means that they will refund you your Flex Play entry up to $20 in promo funds. So most people like myself try to maximize that opportunity. So I will craft a 6-leg parlay to potentially win $500 or more that is completely risk-free. So every week, PrizePicks gives us 4 expected advantages every week. Those 3 Taco Tuesday discounts and Flex Friday. PrizePicks will also drop random discounts and even free squares, like say Luka Doncic over 0.5 points, which of course he will hit on occasion. And interestingly too, PrizePicks is the only app that lets you play discounts and free squares in more than one entry, which is usually capped at $25. So theoretically, you could play 5 separate 2-man power plays with that one discount. Now I want to show this particular graphic and why it's so important to play the discount. As you can see, from this great graphic, the taco hit or the discount rate is around 80%, which is 30% more than, of course, regular props, which will be 50-50. That is why I'm so emphatic on the fact that you really should only take discounts when they're available. All right, so now I'll scroll through Underdog's Twitter just a bit, and they do similar things to PrizePicks, but not exactly the same. Underdog does not have those regularly cadenced discounts like PrizePicks. They will kind of just randomly drop discounts throughout the week whenever they kind of feel like it. And also, these discounts typically don't last a long time. They aren't on the board for a long time. So they might drop a discount, say on a random Thursday at 11 a.m., and they'll say, get it within the next 3 hours. Well, you could be at work and miss the discounts and not even know it was available to you if you didn't check the app or their Twitter page. So that can be a bit frustrating. But they do drop a lot of discounts and a good amount of free squares as well. Also, on their Twitter page, they also do a lot of giveaways and promotions. So that does help. But it can be kind of frustrating to have to stock them just to really make sure you aren't missing anything. Okay, so Sleeper is a little bit in the middle of both Underdog and PrizePicks. They like to offer discounts on Wednesdays and Sundays. They sometimes offer protected plays like PrizePicks, but could be pretty irregular, so you never really know if it's coming or not. Usually that protected play is only $20. They'll also offer free squares sometimes as well, but those are often irregular like the other two apps as well. But something to note about Sleeper is that they do require a minimum multiplier of 3x on all plays with discounts or free squares. While this doesn't seem like a huge deal and not that different than Underdog or PrizePicks, often I'll find myself finding a prop to pair the discount with that I really like but only be at 2.9 or 2.8x. So then I have to find a super safe prop to squeak over that 3x multiplier, which should be fine, but you'd be surprised how many times that safe play missed.
All right, we talked about all three apps, their advantages, their disadvantages, but now the main question. If I were to tell a beginner, this is where I'd start, where would I point them? And that answer is PrizePicks. I truly believe PrizePicks is the best app for beginners who are just getting into sports betting. Let me tell you why.
All three apps have their own advantages and disadvantages, obviously. But again, if I were to choose which one I think is the best for beginners, I would go with PrizePicks. First, I do think their interface is the easiest to interpret for beginners. The giant boxes with each player and each stat is pretty easy to understand. They also navigate by category of prop and sport at the top, which I think it makes it easy to navigate. Secondly, the fact that they are consistent every week on releasing discounts and promotions. Taco Tuesday on Tuesday, Flex Friday on Friday. I think that's really an underrated aspect. That predictability can really help new bettors. Oh, great, it's Tuesday. I know I'm getting 3 discounts today. Oh, it's Friday. I know I have a risk-free chance to win it big on Flex Friday. Now, don't get me wrong, Underdog and Sleeper do offer a good amount of discounts, but they do force you to be on your toes a bit to make sure you don't miss any of them. And then another reason, like I mentioned before, is that you can play these discounts more than one time on PrizePicks, which is huge.
Because I think PrizePicks is the best, I wanted to see if I could put my money where my mouth is. So I started a new PrizePicks account from scratch. I started a new PrizePicks account just last week under my girlfriend's name. I put in $100. We got that $100 deposit match. Let me pull it up and show you what happened.
All right, I'm pulling up my girlfriend's PrizePicks on her iPad here. Let me walk you through exactly what I did. And spoiler alert at the top, we're up over $260 just with a $100 initial deposit. Let's take a look at what I did. So I'm going to go to transaction log here and start kind of from the beginning to show you. Let me scroll down to the bottom. Oops, let me toggle it over to March as well. That's when I started it. Okay. March 14th, we put in $100 of cash, and immediately we were presented with $100 in promo funds, right? We then started playing power plays, and we have that protected play, and we were slowly able to build up our bankroll because those promo funds that we're using in those power plays, when you win, you will get cash directly. So let me show you this first example here. And also remember the point too that I said PrizePicks is the only app where you can use discounts and free squares multiple times. This is a great way to take advantage of this initial deposit promo funds. So I'm going to go down to view details here and view details here. On March 14th, PrizePicks gave us a free square, James Harden more than 3.14 points for Pi Day, right? We know a two-man power will pay us 3x of a multiplier, right? So what I'm going to do, or what I did, is I put $12.50 on James Harden over and Kelly Oubre over, right? $12.50 of the promo funds. And then inversely, the same play, James Harden over 3.14 points, but then we switch to Kelly Oubre to less than, also with $12.50. That means that we are guaranteeing ourselves $37.50 no matter what of cash, because one of those will hit no matter what, because Harden will cash and either the less or the over will hit on Kelly Oubre. This is an easy way to make quick cash with the promo funds with the free square. We see the protected play here. Unfortunately, that did not hit, so that just returns to us in promo funds. There was another free square that I utilized and did the exact same thing. LeBron James, 0.5 points, put in $12.50 of promo funds each, won back $37.50 in cash. And then after that, I just started playing tacos and discounts only and kept winning until I ran out of promo funds and started using actual cash. But by that point, we'll get to that point here. Okay, so right here is where I ran out of promo funds. Officially, now we're using cash, and the promo funds you see in the account right now are the promo funds you get back from the protected plays. But that's really real cash. So in just a matter of a week or 2 weeks of having this account, let me go to April here when I'm recording this, we're up over $160. And now live, remember, I only put in $100. So now live, I'm going to take out that $100 of initial deposit. So whatever is left in there is house money. Actually, I might take out more than $100 so I can secure some profit no matter what. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to request withdrawal. Okay, I'm going to click my account, and I might skip this part because I don't want you seeing my information here. But we'll withdraw 100, and we'll do 130. Whoops, that is way too much. 130. Okay, withdraw. Oh, I gotta check for this verification code. Give me one moment here. All right, so I just put in that code, and boom, we just got $130. Okay, well, actually, it looks like our withdrawal needs to be approved, but it will be. I've had no issues withdrawing. There it is at the top. I'm sure the actual top of the app will update in a minute. But we got $130 very easily with just a $100 deposit. And now we still have over $130 to play with in the account. Free house money. We do what we want. So hopefully this shows you that it is extremely possible to make money on PrizePicks and why I think it's the easiest to start out with. And I want to show you real fast that method I was doing with the free squares. I'm going to visually do it right now so you can see. So we'll take this curry taco that's still on the board, right? And we'll pair it with Kevin Durant, okay? And the idea is that you will click submit, right? So I'll click submit here. And then quickly you reuse the same players and you switch the less on Durant and place that entry, Okay, so now we go to my entries. Okay, and you can see the entries there we just placed. Because now think about it. Let's ignore promo funds for a second and just talk about cash because this will work as well. Let's say the bottom slip hits where Kevin Durant is over, right? That bottom slip will profit us $10, but we'll lose the top slip, which is 5. But therefore, we win $5 profit. So now we're just relying on that discounted Curry play instead of worrying about 2 individual players, but worrying about just one to make some profit. So you're risking 10 to win 5, but the risk is relatively low, assuming the taco hits. Hopefully that cleared things up a bit. That's what I did with the free squares earlier that you saw in that transaction log. Very easy way to play. I highly recommend this. I post this on Twitter all the time. I'll attach an image right here of me playing one, for example. I love it. More people should do it. Super easy.
So, the moral of the story. Yes, I think PrizePicks is the best app for beginners, no doubt. But I do not want to disparage these other apps as well. Underdog, Sleeper, they are great apps. And if you get more comfortable with PrizePicks, let's just say you've been playing for a few weeks and you want to branch out, Underdog and Sleeper are great next steps. But I do think PrizePicks is the first step new beginners should take. But the purpose of this video was just to show you that I promise you it is very possible to start making money on these apps. Also, shameless plug, I do have a Twitter at Mick M Betting. I specialize in those DFS apps that we talked about. I cater specifically for the small bettor. And as of this video, betting in only $5 to $10 increments, we are up over $600. It's not rocket science. I promise you, it is very possible. If you want to get these apps and don't know what bets to place, but you know that you should place bets, I highly recommend my page. I walk you through every single bet that I make, and I promise you, we will make money together. It's super fun. Check it out. I did make a tutorial a few weeks ago on how to create your own customized sports betting spreadsheet. I think it's super important to track your bets and knowing exactly how much you've won, how much you've lost, because truly, I think these apps can be a little confusing in determining, okay, wait, how much money did I put in? How much money am I taking out? This spreadsheet will be very helpful for your purpose. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I hope you all have a great day. I will see you soon.